Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Now, today is a little bit of a somber episode. The two little Ranchus that I purchased from Coast Jam USA last week, unfortunately, did pass away. Last week was probably one of the most stressful weeks that I've had in a while. I think since my daughter was born, but it was probably one of the most stressful weeks in the pet hobby, at least for a while. If you guys remember last week, I ended up purchasing some Ranchus on a whim from Coast Jam USA. Now, I really wish now that I would have just put the brakes on them and kind of did this right. If you guys remember in the video, I actually said that I was only planning on getting one, and I ended up getting two, and I think that was mistake number two, is getting too many fish for the quarantine system that I didn't have ready. So that was mistake number two. Whole last week I was just testing the water on both systems, both this tank and the quarantine system, and this tank suffered a little bit just because I ended up pulling some media out of it and putting it into the other one. So this tank suffered for about a day. The ammonia did spike on this tank. The next day I found the goldfish a little bit lethargic. They weren't really moving. I tested the water. The ammonia did spike up, so I had to do an emergency water change ASAP on them. Within a day, this tank equalized and it's back to normal. I haven't had any issues, knock on wood. But the other tank, the quarantine tank, the media did help it. It did help converting the ammonia into nitrites because I was testing the ammonia and the ammonia really wasn't that high. But the problem that I was having is that the nitrites just were going through the roof. I could not get a handle the whole week on the nitrites. I tried everything. I tried to artificially bring down the nitrites and it just wasn't helping. And I think there was a couple things that I feel that went wrong. And I think the first thing that I felt that went wrong is that I don't think there was enough water movement or enough water circulation in there. I ended up increasing the air to the sponge filter to try to help that, but I still didn't feel like there was enough circulation going into that tank. Like I said, there was two fish in there, and I just felt like the system just could not handle two fish. One of the goldfish that did come in was a little bit stressed out. I don't think it was sick. I think it was stressed out. So he was a little bit more sad, more down the whole time. The other one was a little bit more upbeat, swimming around. And I felt, this is one of the things that I considered, was setting up the 40-gallon tank really quick, try to boost the beneficial bacteria in there, and have that as a quarantine tank instead of that little tub that I had. But I was so scared that if they did have any parasites or any bacteria, any fungus, that they would be contaminating that tank. These guys will eventually go into that tank, and that's just something that I didn't want to risk. I didn't want to risk contaminating that tank and having these guys pay for it. So that was just not an option that I was willing to take. And unfortunately, the nitrogen cycle just kicked my butt. I mean, the whole week was just so stressful. I was testing the water in the mornings and the afternoons, doing water changes, trying to artificially bring down the nitrites. But they kicked my butt. I mean, the nitrogen cycle just kicked my butt. And unfortunately, two goldfish did end up passing away. I think the saddest thing that I felt in this whole week, or the hardest thing that I had to deal with, was that my daughter was starting to get attached to those little goldfish. My daughter kept on asking me once I broke everything down, like, where's my fish? Where's my fish? So she did get attached to them. She would take her little toys and put him next to the quarantine tank. And so it did break my heart a little bit that they weren't there. She's still asking for them. All right, so that brings me to my last point. Now, I do want to get more Ranchus because my daughter, I promised her that we were going to get her fish back. So I do want to get more Ranchus, and I've been wanting Ranchus for a while. I just think I jumped the gun a little bit too quick. I didn't plan for them, and I had nothing ready. This is what my plans are moving ahead. I'm going to be setting up the 40-gallon, but I'm going to be doing a fishless water cycle. So I'm going to cycle that tank probably for a week until I feel it's stable enough for me to put some fish in there. The white little fish is going to be going in there just automatic after that. As soon as I feel like the water parameters are stable, the white fish is going to be the first one to go into that tank. I'll probably keep her in there for a week or two until I feel that the tank is stable and I'm able to add more fish. After that, I'm going to end up putting both the two little telescope eyes into that tank. The telescope eyes are actually kind of bonded together. They're always together at night when I turn off the lights. They kind of huddle together. So I don't want to separate them because I feel like they're starting to bond together. The two Arandis could care less, but the two little telescope eyes, I mean, they're starting to be bonded together, and I don't want to separate them. So they're going to be moved in with the white Oranda. I'll end up leaving the big Oranda in this tank for the time being, just so the filtration doesn't mess up on the cycle. Once I'm ready and I have everything set for that other tank, then I'm going to go get Ranchus, and this is going to become my quarantine tank. The big Oranda will get moved into the 40-gallon the day I bring the Ranchus home. So that's my plan. I feel like if I plan it, if I do it ahead, this tank I know for sure is cycled and can handle 4 fish. It should definitely handle 2 little ones. So that's my plan. I'm going to do it right this time. I apologize. This was a little painful. Not that I haven't had any animal pass away, but I think it was painful because my daughter was attached to those fish. And I think that's what hurts the most in this process. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I would really, really appreciate any feedback or anything that you guys might have that might be able to help me. Maybe there's something that I'm missing right now. But like I said, I want to learn from you guys, and hopefully you guys are learning from me, and hopefully you guys are learning from my mistakes so you guys don't go out and do this. I knew this I knew this from the beginning. I knew I was taking the risk. That's why I was freaked out the whole time. The whole time I was setting everything up, I was freaked out. And thinking back, maybe I should have just got one, or maybe I should have just got none and walked away. But it is what it is. Hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and we just move on. So let me know what you guys think. I apologize. I hope this helps in some way. I hope you guys can learn from this. I hope you guys can learn from the mistakes that I've done. But like I said, I'm sorry for this episode. Hopefully on the next episode I'll have a better show for you guys. But until then, please let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day, guys.